Horrific Visions Revisited are here, and with Stormwind active this week, we can actually get our hands on 5 masks, which means we can attempt a 5 mask run. Doing that will give you access to the vendor, which will sell you hero weapons, which is probably not going to be useful to your character that's doing a 5 mask run anyway, but it does also allow you to pick up the tome that will turn champion gear into warbound champion gear while you're doing visions. This can be great for spamming out visions and getting your alt geared. So I'm going to be running through how I did a 5 mask run this week. It was not easy at all though, so do keep in mind that this is how I approached it as a Windwalker monk, but there's going to be different approaches depending on your spec, class, what you've got access to, etc. First of all, I would say don't use Sorodormi, especially if you're a geared character. She's not going to help enough. She's going to make everything take longer, be tankier, and that will be a big problem when we need to be as fast as possible. A few other things to note as well is I had the mount barding thing where you don't get dismounted. That's going to be key for the strategy I used. You do also want to know what potion is going to be a good potion and a bad potion, and we're going to make use of that throughout the run as well, because that sanity regen is going to be crucial. I also did max out the tributes for all of the sections, so I had the damage, I had the sanity regen on elite kills, and I had the haste and movement speed, and this is going to be pretty important as well for finishing your run. So with that out of the way, let's get started on what we did. We buffed up, obviously we did the potion, we did the flask and the weapon oil, and once we get in, we're going to mount up, we're going to sprint, we're going to mouse over the potion to see what it is. So in this case it is a purple potion, meaning we know black is good. We spot a black potion here as well that we're going to come back for later on, so that's going to be a little bit of extra sanity in the end, which was actually, I think, crucial for us finishing this. We're going to run straight to the dwarf district, we're going to kill the mobs, we're going to get as much distance as we can, and then we're going to run inside, and the goal is to get far away enough from those mobs that they reset and snap back to their original position. So that's why you'll see me kind of rush through these packs without doing the bomb, is that I want to get as much distance as possible. Now you can see they've reset, and we can continue on with the run as normal. I'm scouting around looking for black potions. We're going to pull all of the mobs here, and we're going to be doing the bombs as we go along, except I miss one, which is going to lose us a bit of sanity. We pull the bike and the guard, so we do want to make sure we pull the bike though, because not pulling it here, it won't pull on its own. So we do want to pull it here so it gets killed while we're kind of aiming everything down and popping cooldowns and defensives and clearing all that down as quickly as we can. We go back to placing the explosives. We're looking for potions, kind of not finding them right now, but then we do eventually spot one of the black potions that we need, which is good. We're going to get a little bit of sanity back. Generally, if there's a potion, there's normally 2 in that section. So you don't want to be looking around and trying to find the 2 potions. I don't think I've ever found more than 2. You could be using the other helpful potions as well, but the sanity one is the main one I'm worried about. And I don't pick up the other ones because 1, you've got to click and wait for it. And 2, if you forget about it and it times out, it only has a negative effect. So we pull all those mobs, we go around the corner, we're going to finish off the bombs, and then we're going to kind of wait for the boss to spawn. You do want to be making use of mobility as much as possible. As you see, I'm using rolls and stuff and teleports. We do have to run back for this bomb that I missed, which was really, really bad. Wait, I've missed one. Oh no, that is terrible. That is horrendously bad. So yeah, make sure you don't do that, because that is going to be a good chunk of sanity lost. You know, this is kind of a race against time. We don't have enough sanity reduction stuff right now to be making mistakes like that, really. So the boss comes down, we're going to pop everything here and get him killed as quickly as possible, using all my cooldowns apart from Touch of Death, because I'm going to save Touch of Death for the next guy. We're going to get him killed, and then we're going to head over to Old Town. Now, Old Town is a little bit tricky as well. Both of the tier 2 sections are tricky. Old Town being easy, the Mage Quarter. Here, I'd like to use mobility to get to the end, but I've got none left, so we can't. We're going to go down here, we're going to kill all these mobs out, and then we're going to head to the mini-boss. You want to be very careful here, because it's going to spawn that, like, wall that'll stun you. And also, she's going to do this Blade Flourish, so you want to make sure you get your distance away from the Blade Flourish. This is why I saved Touch of Death here, because we're going to try and burst her down before she does the next Blade Flourish, but I fail just about, which is also a bit of wasted time. I would normally Touch of Death her before she does that. We do spot the black potion though, so we're going to pick that up. So there's 2 mistakes here already that show that it has a little bit of lenience. You can make some small mistakes. The big mistake is going to end you the run, basically. So we continue on, we hit a wall, lose a little bit of time there, but we're going to be pulling packs. Here you can't really mass pull. You probably can, but it's hard to get them grouped, and these mobs hurt real bad. So that is a bit of a problem. And if you're playing Monk, Windwalker Monk, they put a poison on you, or other casters, I guess, that slows your kind of casting and channel speed. So I generally kind of cancel Fist of Fury and just use it for the Whirling Dragon Punch and Spinning Crane Kick instead. Because, yeah, doing that Fist of Fury cast is just going to be too slow, not enough damage, not worth it. We're going to kill out these mobs. There's going to be some stealthy boys around here that I try and pull before we pull the boss. We're going to use a set of clones, but not all my cooldowns on this guy. As long as he dies before he does that kind of big circle around you, that's all you really need. You should be watching out for that attack as well, so you don't lose 30 sanity. This is another scary pull, so we're going to come into this with cooldowns. We're going to leg sweep as well, I believe. Yeah, leg sweep that, get it all killed down, and now we can head to the boss. I think we've only found one potion in this section so far, so there is another potion out there potentially, but I don't think we end up getting it, which does hurt this run as well. I do start popping Conduit before he pops back up, just so we're instantly doing some damage to him and we can try and burst him down. I do take a couple of ticks from the eyes, which is annoying. Those are a lot of little mistakes. Like if your run was clean, you could definitely have a very kind of more relaxed run. Now Monk does have the luxury though of having pretty good on-demand burst and good mobility, which makes it pretty good for this, and obviously a lot of little defensives it can use. So I think Monk is up there. I think some other classes like this, like tanks, probably have a pretty good time because you can just mass pull everything, kill it down and go on that way. Here sometimes Valleria will be fighting those mobs and you can just walk past them, but it's kind of difficult to pull off. Here you can see my sanity bar is getting real low. I'm hoping to find a potion before we do anything here. I do find it, but at this point it's too late, so I'm like, alright, we just got to pop the orb. We're using our first orb, so we're still in an okay spot. We have the potion there that we know about. We're going to get some sanity back from killing the mini-boss. Because we have the tribute maxed out, we're going to get 150 sanity from that. So it's not too bad. A little bit of that sanity is going to be wasted though. You don't want to interrupt this guy's cast, and you want to let him channel for like a second before you interrupt him, because he won't do the sanity loss straight away. So you can kind of min-max a little bit more and basically waste his time and not waste your own time. I'm going to pull all of this together and kill it down. You could pull it onto the boss too if you wanted to, if you've got some cooldowns. They're not that dangerous and the boss itself isn't too dangerous. Here's something horrendous happens. I get yeeted into the black circle. Never seen that before. We lose 90 sanity. So that's as many mistakes as we could even see in a run. Like this makes it pretty bad at this point. So we can't really afford many more mistakes. Otherwise it's just going to be run over. But we're looking around. We're trying to find the potions, etc. We're freeing the prisoners as we go. We get the other black potion, so that's all we can get from this section. And bam, we're on a pretty good amount of sanity at least. So now we just gotta get through this section as fast as possible. Some of the annoying things, like one of the masks will keep you in combat, stuff like that. So you just want to kind of kill things down as quickly as you can here. Don't really sit on... You don't want to use big cooldowns because the next section's scary. But, you know, short cooldowns, definitely let those fly on these packs just so you can get them killed and open the cages. Then we're going to be heading into this pack. We're just going to kill this down, nothing too scary. Once most of the mobs are dead, we can pull the other pack so it's not going to bolster it. Then we're just going to use clones on this and AoE down. Get that. So now there's no more potions for us to get in this section, so we're going to leave. And then we're on to the final section. Here I get a little bit unlucky as well. The perfect figment or whatever spawns at pretty, not ideal time. We do lose a bit of HP and stuff. I'm stood in the thing, so we're losing even more HP and panicking a bit. We're going to clones this pack as well because this is kind of scary. Especially because these mobs just keep coming and they pile up while you fight in this pack, and it can make it really, really dangerous. That eye you want to interrupt ideally. This pack I use CC for. This is another scary pack. And from here, we're in a bit of a tough spot because there's not a potion around I was hoping to find. I normally pull the mini-boss before we do the orb, but I'm like, that's not going to be possible. So instead what we do is move into the side. I wanted to pop this, get some sanity back, but I'm in combat by the dudes still coming, so I'm like, oh god, am I even going to get enough sanity back now? Probably not. I was hoping to have full sanity, kill some packs, then kill the mini-boss. Didn't work out that way, so instead we're going to kill the mini-boss now and get the sanity back from him before we move on. We're going to pop cooldowns on this dude because he's very scary. That frontal can happen at the same time as the split personality, which is like the cage around you. And if you're not ready, you'll end up running into the cage, getting to eat, like the frontal will just completely destroy not only your health, but your sanity as well. And the run will basically be over. So you have to be very careful with knowing when split personality might happen. I normally line of sight here to make these two casters come down because they stand above and they just absolutely rail on you. We're going to get one of the potions, which is good. There's still another potion potentially out there, but I don't think we find it. We're going to continue on. This mini-boss, you want to let him cast twice, and if you're a melee, we want to kind of bait the Ring of Fire or whatever away, and then come back in. I fail it here a little, but if you do it right, you'll still be able to melee, and the ring's not going to be hitting you. I get hit by something here as well. It makes me lose 30 sanity. I'm not even sure what that was. Must have just been a lingering effect from the boss. We're going to come down. I'm still looking for that black potion. This section's super annoying because you're going to be permanently in combat, meaning you're getting lead and foot, and if you've not got the mobility to kind of negate that in a way, you're just going to be very slow, so you have to take this section a bit slow. I guess you try and mount up and just run through a mass pull or something. I'm not sure, but these mobs are always going to keep you in combat. Another scary pack, so we're just going to leg sweep this and nuke it down. And now our sanity isn't looking great here. I'm hoping we do get a potion. If we find the right potion here, then we could have gone to the boss and used the orb on the boss, but that's not going to happen. Final potion's green, so we're out of luck. Panicking a little bit again. I'm like, ugh, we get hit by the ring. Mob comes, I think. Yeah, here comes a mob. I'm like, oh god, I'm going to be in combat. I'm not going to get full sanity. But luckily we kill him. We're able to hug the side and not pull any more mobs. And now we're waiting. I did want to quickly note as well, the runs were streamed on Twitch, on twitch.tv/trueendgame. If you want to check out the stream, see us do some M+ and stuff like that, then definitely give us a look. And then we're going to come up, and this is where I would normally use the orb. So for this fight, this is a tough fight. What I would say is use the orb here if you can. We're going to pop everything, drums, lust, everything. I would say, actually, you probably don't need lust, but we're going to let him do that cast, which sounds weird. Here, if I got the touch of death off, he was dead, but the reason we let him do that cast is because we're using all our cooldowns, it delays him teleporting away, and next up he's going to cast the polymorph anyway, which we want to interrupt, because if we don't, we're stuck for 4 seconds. So I only really interrupt polymorphs on that guy, and the goal is just to nuke him down as quickly as possible before he gets to do anything. Now, if you remember early on as well, we had that black potion we kept aside, so we're going to kill these mobs out. We remember about the black potion. We're going to run in, kill these mobs. Definitely worth grabbing this, because these mobs die instantly. We got ourselves the black potion, and now we have an okay amount of sanity. It's not great. We've got cooldowns coming up soon. We do have bloodlust, so at least we can do some pretty good damage here. So we're going to pop everything on the boss. And here we start playing a little bit bad because it's a little bit nerves. The eye is just railing on me for some reason, even though it feels like I'm not really facing it most of the time. But it's just absolutely, like, right now I'm losing sanity to it. And then the boss is like right on top of the eye, so it's like, oh my god, what do I even do here? She's stood in the fire. She baits me by doing the void eruption and chains at the same time, so I'm like, well, do I have to line of sight here? What's going on? Well, line of sight to make sure. The barrels spawn in a good place at least. We have to dodge this, so I stand in the fire a little bit. That's probably not the best play. We dodge the circles again, and here we have touch of death, so we kill her. And that is the run over. We did it! Oh! So I made a lot of mistakes in that run. I've definitely had way cleaner runs where I've had an orb for the mage boss, and we've been able to do that, and then it's just been me messing up on the Valleria fight, getting hit by like the void eruption or whatever. But definitely doable. It's just going to be you coming up with your own strategy for this, like what your class abilities have, what you've got at your disposal, making use of all of it, trying to kind of speed run as much as possible, because the longer it takes you to get through sections, especially the tier 2 sections, you're just going to lose a lot of sanity. And it's also playing a bit of a risky game too. You need to delay using your orb as much as possible to see if you can kind of sustain yourself with the elites, with the potions, etc. And then pop an orb when everything looks bad, like you're just not going to get the sanity gen you need. Definitely make sure you do the progression bars before you do anything, though, the tributes, because without the sanity regen tribute, I don't really know if this is going to be possible. But there it is. He's dead. We did it. You can do a 5-mask run this week. You're going to get yourself some hero gear for doing that, and it's not going to be that great because your character's already pretty geared. My character was 677. This is my US character, so it's not amazingly geared, but 677 is decently geared, at least pretty up there. So yeah, if you're around that level, you've got the spells that you might want to swap some of your talents and stuff out. Either way though, hopefully this video was helpful for you trying to do a 5-mask run this week. Don't get too frustrated though, because this is not easy. I did many runs to get this done. If you don't do it, you know, don't worry too much. The weeks progress, it'll get easier anyway. If you want to challenge yourself though, it's kind of a fun challenge while it's at its kind of peak hardest, I would say. I don't think an 8-mask run will be as hard as this is currently, maybe. So yeah, either way, give it a go and look out for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys.